Hi everyone, my name is Ronna Griffin and I'm the Director of Education and Programming here at LYT. I am so excited to take you on a behind the scenes tour of our online trainings. We'll start by taking a look at the team-guided training, which is our most comprehensive option that includes live interaction calls with Laura and the LYT team, mentorship by one of our level 2 instructors, and lifetime access to the training materials immediately upon enrollment. Afterwards, we'll take a look at the self-guided option, which is a great course for existing movement educators who want to learn more about anatomy and the LYT methodology, or existing yoga instructors who don't want to go through another 200-hour training again. Additionally, the self-guided training can be a really great stepping stone for someone who wants to learn more about movement but isn't ready to take the step into a 200-hour program yet. So let's dive in. Each of our courses are broken up into modules or folders that help categorize the content. The first item in the training, as you'll see, is our student licensing agreement. This states that the course is purchased for you and you alone and is not to be shared with others. Once you mark this section as complete, you'll have access to the entire introduction section. So let's take a look. The introduction section has several subcategories of information. The Start Here section includes our schedule, community, Facebook group information, as well as any discount codes that you are eligible for. If you're already a member of LYT Daily or LYT Studio, don't worry, we have you covered. The course outline has a detailed description of everything that is covered in the training, as well as your manual and typed flows. The live call folder has all of the applicable Zoom calls, dates, times, as well as the links. The requirements for certification folder has all of the information about completing the course and earning your certificate, including guidance for your final teaching class, the rubric you'll be evaluated on, and topics for you to provide partner feedback at the end of the course. Finally, the LYT instructor agreement is signed just before certification, and it outlines that we give you permission to teach the Core 10 flows, as well as use LYT branding materials to promote yourself as a LYT instructor. You'll see that there's a folder here for the live call recordings. At the beginning of each team-guided training, we create a new folder specifically for your group. At the completion of each training, we move that group's calls to the bottom of the training, which you'll see in a little bit when we talk more about the live calls. So let's dive into the next category, which is our instructional content or our core content. This is an example of one of the weeks, and all of the weeks are structured very, very similarly. The thing that I will point out right away is that on the right-hand side, you'll see check marks for what has been completed and a progress indicator for each video. Each week starts off with a class by Laura, and that class's theme will be woven throughout the content for the rest of the week. The class is followed by a class breakdown, which is where Laura explains the why behind each pose and transition, as well as how it supports her theme. This breakdown is important because you are going to be licensed to teach these classes, and we want you to truly understand the why. Doing so will help you maintain the integrity of the LYT blueprint. Following the class breakdown is a modified version of Laura's class that is a little bit more beginner-friendly. At the conclusion of the class, there's a short breakdown that explains what changes were made to Laura's original class and why. We recommend that you practice either one or both of these classes throughout the week, depending on where your practice is at any given day. Next, we move into our yoga philosophy. This is where Laura will talk about the history of yoga, Patanjali's branches, as well as the chakra. Each week, she dives into a different yama, niyama, and chakra and explores the real-world application of these concepts. The best part, at the end of the training, we have an entire call dedicated to this topic. It is always such a meaningful and heartfelt conversation. It's a highlight of every training. Following yoga philosophy is teacher methodology. Regardless of your teaching experience, these videos will provide you with wonderful tools to build or hone your skill set, specifically within the LYT method style. Another wonderful opportunity to build this skill set is with your mentor. Each team-guided training has at least one level 2 mentor with a ton of hours, and they will provide office hours for the group to have a chance to ask questions, but also, and more importantly, to practice teaching the LYT method. All right, next up, you'll see our very first anatomy lesson. Underneath the video is an outline of what is covered. Additionally, you'll find these same notes in your manual. And the final video in week 1 is the very important posture lesson. You'll notice that this is a lengthy video, but you'll notice right underneath, we do have it time-stamped into chunks. That makes it easier to digest so you know where good pausing points are within the video. Another amazing aspect in this training and all of our trainings is that the videos include English closed captions, as well as a way to speed up or slow down playback. Both of these features are intended to support trainees who either English is their second language or need a visual of the anatomy terms or just need to pace the content differently to support their learning style. At the end of the week, you'll see a quiz. These quizzes are required to complete the training with a passing grade of 80% or higher. The good news, you can take the quizzes as many times as you need to in order to achieve the passing score. Finally, there are supplemental videos at the end of each week. These are not required because some or most of this content is covered during the live calls. However, we still wanted to make these videos available to you. A recent addition to the training is the bonus content, which includes hand-selected classes from LYT Daily that support the week's theme. These will give you an opportunity to hear how a topic like posture can be taught, sequenced, and cued by other instructors. And you'll find all of those videos at the very end of the training. When you go all the way to the bottom is a section called Training Q&A. In years past, especially during COVID times where everyone was on Zoom a whole lot more, we did a lot of lengthy Q&A sessions, and they were wonderful. This section is a series of pre-recorded Q&A calls that are all time-stamped, but the key part here is that we actually have a spreadsheet where you will see all of those calls and the questions that were asked, so you can go up to the search bar and type in, I have a question about the core, and then I can see there are 27 different times that core came up. After reviewing them, I could decide to go look at the week 1, call 1, and at the 38-minute mark, I can hear Laura answer that particular question. This is such a great way for you to explore some of the questions that have come up in previous groups, as well as how Laura responded to them. Finally, let's explore the live call section from a previous training. Each team-guided training includes 10 required calls. If you're unable to make one of the live calls, you can always watch the recording. They are uploaded to the training within 24 to 48 hours afterwards. These calls are required because Laura or myself or another senior teacher covers content that is key to the LYT methodology. So let's take a look at a sample live call. I'm going to dive into Cohort 10's Week 3 call, and you'll see from the timestamping that the first 20 minutes of the call were spent checking in and creating community. At the 20-minute mark, the lecture began with a review of last week's content regarding the reset, and then transitioned into this week's topic of Sun Salutation 1. The timestamping indicates where Laura demos something of interest as well as relevant questions to the topic. At the end of the call, you'll see that there was an opportunity to practice the topic together to get feedback. Another couple of live call highlights that are worth mentioning. During the break week call, while this is not required, it is a fantastic chance to practice together and receive individualized feedback on your practice by either Laura, myself, or another senior teacher. Lastly, as mentioned before, the philosophy and action call is a heart-led conversation about how we can embody not just the physical aspects of the practice into our lives, but also the metaphysical. So now let's dive into the self-guided training. It is so similar to the team-guided, but I'll also share how it varies. The self-guided course comes in two products. The first being the core content. The materials in this product are going to be the exact same core instructional content as the team-guided training, only totaling 70 hours though. The one notable piece that is missing from this course is yoga philosophy, which many who have already engaged in an LYT 200 through another school have experienced. We wanted to focus on the anatomy and physiology for this abridged course. The core content must be completed and the quizzes passed within 12 months of purchasing in order to retain lifetime access to the course. The second product has the bonus content, which is required if you want to become a LYT Level 1 certified instructor. This includes the same classes from LYT Daily that you saw in the team-guided product, pre-recorded live calls from a previous training, and additionally, there is guidance at the end regarding how to certify in the LYT method. I hope that this video has given you a great preview of our two main training options, what they look like, how they function once you enroll, and please know that if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us at education@lytyoga.com. Thank you so much.